In this chapter we will discuss returning values from function. That means function according to returning values by function divided into two categories: non-void functions and void functions. The functions which return some value are called non-void functions, and the functions which don't return and which doesn't return any value called void function. Now, functions returning some values, that means non-void functions, will use return keyword to return a value. Return keyword, look at here. At the end of the function statements, we use return keyword, and we use some values or an expression or another calling of a function can be used in return with this return keyword. Now next slide. The value being returned can be one of the following: a literal. It can be a literal, that means a constant can be returned. Look at here, return 5. We are returning 5 constant or literal by this function where the return keyword is using. A variable, it can be used a variable. Look at here, return a. Here variable a is the value of variable a is returning. An expression, return 6 plus 4. It is an expression, it is returning here. First, the value of an expression will be evaluated. That means 6 plus 4 is 10, and this constant or literal is returned after evaluation. So always keep it in your mind that if we are using an expression with return keyword, then first that expression will be evaluated, and after that a literal or constant will come, and this constant or literal will be returned by that function, because all the variables which is used in used with return function in an expression will be spoiled when we return from a function. This is another expression. It will be evaluated and then returned. It will be evaluated according to the operator precedence. That means exponent will be evaluated first, then after the addition, and bracket will be evaluated then after division. Now, df sum xy. Here I am defining a function sum with two parameters x comma y. It will be called somewhere. Let me show. First, look at here. Here sum 5 comma 3. That means it is the invoking of sum function with two arguments 5 comma 3. 5 and 3 are constants or literals. It will be invoked by default as a sequence. We have discussed calling of the function. It can be of two types. It can be a default argument or by a sequence. Okay, passing values by a sequence. Okay, sum 5 comma 3. Now here sequence, according to their sequence, that means first argument will be goes to first parameter and second argument will be received by second parameter. Now what happened inside this, the value of x and y will be added and stored into variable s. Return s, the value of s will be returned by this function, and the value will be returned to which place? Where this calling of the function occurs. That means this place. And what will be the value returned by this function? 5 plus 3, which is 8. Okay, x received 5 and y received 3, and the addition of these two numbers is 5 plus 3 is 8, and which is stored in s, and then after it is returned by this sum function with the help of return keyword. And this value 8 is returned and stored into result variable. If we will not use a variable after calling a function, then there will be no use of calling a function or returning a value. Okay, we can't say calling of the no use of calling. We can we say that I want to say that there will be no use of returning a value. Okay, if we are not using a variable to store the return value, then or we are not using that value in an expression, then there will be no use of returning a value by a function. Now, yes, return value of a function should be used in the caller function or program inside an expression or a statement. By these three methods, we can use the return value by a function. First, we can assign it to a variable. Look at here. Some function is called and the value returned by this some function will be stored in add underscore result. In the next statement, there is calling of subfunction inside a print function. In such type of calling, first inner function, the calling of inner function will be occur first, and after the value returned by this function will be used as an argument by the outer function. Okay, that means first some function will be called, it returns some value, and after that print function will be called with the argument returned by some function. Okay, here in our next statement, sum 4 comma 5, in it is an expression. We can also use a function calling within an expression. Here the value returned by the sum function, that which is 4 plus 5 9, and it is compared or it is comparing with the help of greater than relationship operator, and 9 is greater than 6, which is true. So the output or the result of this expression will be what? True. So we can use it. We can use calling of the function within an expression, within a function calling, or the return value can be stored into another variable. Okay. If we just call a function, that means we will not assigning it into a variable or used within an expression or another function. Then in such case, Python will not report an error. Okay. For example, I have written just sum 4 comma 5. Then what will happen? It will raise an error? No. Answer is no. Because in this case, a value written by this function will be not stored into another variable or not used, but it will be written by the Python interpreter, and it has no use, just no use. It will do nothing because we didn't use it. So always keep it in your mind, if we are returning some value, then it must be stored by these three methods. Okay, one of these three methods. So next example, in our yes, the return statement ends a function execution even if it is in the middle of the function. Df check A. Look at here. We should not use a return keyword within a function statements. Okay. If we use a return keyword within a function, it will not raise an error. Actually, the statements written after the return keyword will not execute. Look at here. Df check A, math.tabs A, and it is further stored into variable A, and return A. The value written by this return keyword, That means we come out from the check function by this statement, and the statements written after this return keyword will not execute. That means it has no sense of writing any statement after return keyword. Okay, so always keep it in your mind, return keyword or return statement will be written at the end of the function. Now next, function not returning any value, that means void function. Second type of function, if a function is not returning any value, there are four examples where we are not returning any value. Such type of functions are called void functions. Df greet, we are just printing a hello inside greet function, but not using we are not using return keyword in this function. Again, df greet one, it is not of it has a parameter, and print something. We are using name value of name variable, but we are not using return keyword inside this greet one function. That means it will return nothing, means none. df quote, we have used return keyword, but we don't use any variable or constant literal expression with this return keyword. That means in this place again the none will be written by this function quote. Okay, print sum, this is another example, and it is just similar to the previous one. Okay, in this case there will be none written by this print sum function. Okay, if we use these values, then none will be written by this function. Look at here, it is written here, and every void function returns value none to its caller. Okay, next, look at this, the working of this calling of greet function. df greet, print hellos, and in the main section a is a variable which store the value written by a greet function. We are not using a return keyword inside greet function. That means greet is a void function. When there is a calling of greet function first, now print hellos, hellos will be print. Look at the output, and after this what will be written here? Nothing. That means none. Okay, there is a constant none, N-O-N-E, where N is in capital letter. Okay, always keep it in your mind. There is a constant or literal none, which is represented by a keyword none. Okay, where N is in capital letter, initial letter N is in capital letter. Now it will be stored into variable A. If we print A, then what will be printed here? None. In another example, look at another example, code 1 and code 2. df replicate, what will be the output for this? First our interpreter goes to this statement, it is the definition of the function. Then what happened, it will come to this statement, print replicate. What happened, print function will call first or replicate? First inner function is called, that is why replicate function will be called first, and inside this replicate function print 5 times dollar will be print. Look at the output, 5 times dollar is printing here, and after this it will return something. We are not using return keyword, that means it is again a void function, and it will return none in this case, none. Okay, and is in capital letter, so none will be written and it will be processed by print function, and none as a print function will be called with value none, and this none will be print this time. Again, in code 2, df replicate 1, this is a non-void function because we are using return keyword and we are using a string with this return keyword. That means it is returning something. That's why it is non-void function. Print replicate one function is called here, and the statements inside replicate one will be executed. After this, return 5 times dollar. It is in a string. It is returning here, and 5 times dollar string will be come back to this place where replicate one function is called. Now, with this argument, print function is called, and 5 times dollar will be print and nothing. Okay. In this, none is also printing here, but here only 5 times dollar is printing. You know the reason. I think you have understood this concept. So there are three types of functions: non-void function with any argument, non-void function with some arguments, non-void function without any argument, non-void functions with some argument, void function without any argument, void functions with some argument. Okay, returning multiple values. Next topic is, that means a function can return more than one value in Python programming language. We will just separate more than one value by comma separator. Look at here the statement: return value 1 or variable 1 or expression. These three types of values can be returned, and these multiple values will be separated by comma separator. Look at this. Return, first we will use return keyword, then value 1 or variable 1 or expression 1, then comma separator, then value 2, then again comma, then value 3, value 4 or expression or something. Okay. Next, the function call statement should receive or use the return values in one of the following ways. The values written by this method will always be in tuple type. Okay. Always keep it in your mind. The values written by this method, that means comma separated multiple values, will be always in tuple type. We have discussed tuple in our previous class, and I'm recalling the concept that if we don't use parenthesis with multiple values which is separated by comma, then it will treat it as a tuple in our Python programming language. Okay, look at it. df squared x, y, z. These three parameters squared here, and returning x square, y square, z square by comma separator. It is a tuple. Okay, we are not using parentheses here, but still it is a tuple. Now, these values will be returned to place where it is called square 2, 3, 4. The square of 2, 3, 4. That means 4, 9, 16. Look at here. It is in tuple form. Look at it. And it will be stored in variable t. The type of variable t is tuple. Printing this t, and the output will be in tuple with parentheses. Or you can directly unpack the received values. You can also unpack the value by using separate variables, by specifying the same number of variables on the left hand side of the assignment in function call. Look at it. df squared x, y, z, same function, but here now we are using v1, v2, v3. That means each values written by this function is unpacked and is assigned to respective variables. The first squared value, that means the square of 2, which is 4, is stored in v1, and the square of value 3, which is 9, is stored into variable v2, and the square of 4 will be stored into variable v3, and we can use these three variables separately where we use it. There is another example where you can understood this concept and the usage of this concept. There are some arithmetic operators or arithmetic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and mod. We want to perform these operations on two numbers. The same number will be used for each these arithmetic operations. That means we will not define separately the function for addition. We will not define a function for addition, a function for subtraction, or another function for multiplication, division, and mod. We will use the one function, and we can return multiple values with respective arithmetic operation. Okay, look at it. Num1 equals int input enter number1 and num2. That means we are inputting two values by user, and here the calling arcalc1. Now addition operation is working here. Then subtraction, multiplication, division, and mod. These five values is written by arcalc, and it is unpacked and stored into variable add, sub, mult, div, mod. And now we can use these five value of these five variables in different statements of print function. Look at here, sum of given number is add, subtraction of given number sub, product. Okay, so I think you have understood this concept, unpacking of the returning multiple return values. Next example. Composition. Composition means when a function called with some expression or with another function, then it is called composition. Okay, look at here. There are some examples. There is calling of greater function, but the arguments are in the form of expression. 4 plus 5, 3 plus 4. First, these expression will be evaluated, then it will be used as an argument. Okay. Next, a logical expression can also be used. First, it will be evaluated, and then it will be used as an argument. Next, a function called int str 52. First, str function will be called with argument 52. It will be converted into string form. Then int function will be called, and with the string argument double quotes 52 double quotes, and it will be further converted into integer. Okay, so this type of calling of function inside a function is called function composition. Okay, here inside a function there is a function float which is used as an expression. Look at here, the return value will be further multiplied by 2, and it will be used as an argument for int function, calling of int function. Further, here is string f52 plus str10. It will be added. It becomes double quotes 5210 double quote, and after this int function will be called, and the result will be 5210. I think you have understood this concept, and we will discuss the scope of variable in our next video. Thanks for watching.